Former All Black star Israel Dagg has expressed confusion over the resistance shown by South African national rugby union team head coach Rassie Erasmus and his allies toward proposed changes aimed at speeding up the modern game. The debate, simmering for several seasons, has intensified following recent meetings and law trials designed to increase ball-in play time and make rugby union more appealing to fans. At the heart of the disagreement lies a philosophical divide. Should the sport lean further into tempo and entertainment, or protect its traditional pillars at all costs? The push for a faster game, New Zealand Rugby and Rugby Australia have been vocal advocates for a faster, more continuous spectacle. Administrators and coaches from both nations argue that modern audiences crave action, tempo, and fewer stoppages. Their stated aim is not to alter rugby's DNA, but to remove unnecessary delays that detract from the viewing experience. Among the trial amendments is the now globally adopted 20-minute red card, a law that allows a team to replace a sent-off player after 20 minutes rather than playing the remainder of the match a man down. Proponents say it maintains fairness while avoiding contests being effectively decided by a single incident. Other changes introduced by World Rugby include preventing teams from opting for a scrum after a free kick, a measure intended to reduce repeated resets and long stoppages. Supporters in the Southern Hemisphere insist these tweaks are about trimming dead time, not dismantling rugby's identity. Accusations of depowering the scrum critics, however, see a more insidious shift. There are concerns that the cumulative effect of these reforms may dilute the importance of set pieces, particularly the scrum, and edge rugby closer to the rhythms of rugby league. In response, South Africa and France have emerged as leading voices in defense of the sport's traditional structures. They argue that scrums, mauls, rucks, and lineouts are not optional extras, but foundational elements that distinguish rugby union from other codes. This ideological clash reportedly came to a head at World Rugby's recent Shape of the Game conference, where global stakeholders gathered to discuss the sport's future. Stevenson's provocative claim, New Zealand broadcaster Scotty Stevenson offered a colorful account of Erasmus' presence at that meeting during Sport Nation's Scotty and Izzy show. According to Stevenson, Erasmus arrived forcefully and made it clear he was unimpressed by research suggesting fans wanted a faster product. Stevenson claimed that Erasmus dismissed such reports, stating South Africa would continue playing rugby our way and would not be swayed by outside pressure. He further suggested that France and South Africa have formed a strategic alliance within the corridors of power, implying that Erasmus now wields significant influence in shaping the global conversation. Rassie's running the game now, apparently, Stevenson remarked, adding that the French would do what the French do in backing South Africa's stance. While Stevenson's characterization was dramatic, it underscored how charged the debate has become. Dagg's response: confusion, not confrontation. Israel Dagg, Rugby World Cup winner with New Zealand, responded by clarifying what he believes New Zealand and Australia are actually trying to achieve. Scrums, rucks, mauls, and lineouts will be what separates our great game from other games, Dagg insisted. No one's taking it out. For Dagg, the reforms are not an assault on rugby's identity, but an attempt to remove unnecessary downtime, moments when players pause for water, delay restarts, or allow the clock to tick without meaningful action. We're taking out the dead time, the dead play, he said. When your players are on their knees asking for a bit of water because you're tired, that's what we're trying to get out of the game. Dagg's message was clear. The aim is not to weaken the scrum or abandon the maul, but to keep the ball alive and players engaged. That a question of fitness and tempo. One of the more intriguing aspects of Dagg's comments was his assertion that South Africa, of all nations, should not fear a faster game. I don't even know why he's got a problem, Dagg admitted. South Africa are fit. They're playing a fast-paced brand of rugby. Indeed, the modern Springboks combine formidable set-piece power with dynamic counterattacking threats. Their conditioning levels are among the best in World Rugby, and their depth allows them to maintain intensity across 80 minutes. They've got an unbelievable set piece. They've got a great lineout, Dagg added. But now they can actually use the ball and play really well, the same as France. From his perspective, increased ball-in play time should enhance, not hinder, such teams. Philosophical divide. Tradition versus evolution at its core, the dispute is philosophical. Erasmus and his allies appear wary of incremental changes that could erode rugby's unique contest for possession and territory. They see value in the grind, the arm wrestle of the scrum, the tactical chess match of kicking duels, the physical attrition that defines Test rugby. Conversely, administrators in New Zealand and Australia argue that the sport must adapt to survive in a competitive entertainment landscape. With younger audiences exposed to faster-paced sports and digital content, rugby cannot afford prolonged stoppages and opaque officiating processes. Both sides claim to act in the game's best interests. The alliance with France alignment with South Africa adds another dimension. French rugby has long prized its forward dominance and tactical nuance, even as it embraces flair and open play. Their support strengthens South Africa's position within World Rugby councils and ensures the debate carries significant weight. The perception, whether accurate or exaggerated, that Erasmus commands growing influence has unsettled some observers in the Southern Hemisphere. Yet for others, it reflects the natural ebb and flow of power within international governance structures. The 20-minute red card debate. The adoption of the 20-minute red card exemplifies the tension. New Zealand championed the concept domestically before it gained global traction. Advocates argue it prevents matches from being ruined by accidental head clashes while preserving deterrence. Traditionalists worry it softens accountability for dangerous play. The compromise, retaining red cards but allowing a replacement after 20 minutes, illustrates rugby's attempt to balance spectacle with safety. Rugby becoming league. The suggestion that reforms risk turning rugby into rugby league is emotive but influential. League's continuous flow and simplified set-piece structure have long attracted viewers seeking speed and clarity. Union, by contrast, prides itself on complexity and multidimensional contests. The fear among purists is that excessive trimming of stoppages may inadvertently strip away strategic depth. Dagg rejects that premise outright. For him, removing downtime does not equate to abandoning scrums or mauls. It's about more action, he stressed. More opportunities for these players to be under fatigue, for players to come out and play absolutely fantastic rugby. The fans' voice central to the discussion is fan feedback. Research commissioned by governing bodies suggests supporters want faster restarts, fewer resets, and clearer officiating communication. Erasmus reportedly questioned the validity of such findings, signaling skepticism about data-driven reform. This highlights another tension. Should governance rely primarily on tradition and professional insight, or on audience analytics and market trends? A shared objective? Despite the rhetoric, there may be more common ground than appears, and a major nation has proposed eliminating scrums or lineouts. The conversation instead revolves around efficiency, safety, and entertainment balance. South Africa and France seek to safeguard rugby's identity. New Zealand and Australia seek to refine its presentation. Both positions stem from passion for the game. The road ahead as World Rugby continues its consultations. Further law trials are inevitable. Some may succeed, others may be shelved. The sport has evolved continuously since its inception, often amid fierce debate. Erasmus' forthright style ensures his opinions will attract attention. Dagg's measured confusion reflects a belief that reform need not threaten tradition. Ultimately, the outcome will shape how rugby is played and consumed in the coming decades. For now, the disagreement remains robust, but rooted in a shared love for the sport. Whether through faster tempo or steadfast tradition, all parties insist they are working to preserve rugby's greatness. The challenge lies in proving that evolution and identity can coexist, without either side feeling that the soul of the game has been compromised.